Okay, I am done with setup on my end. I hope you're all doing well. Swiggity, good to see you here. And anyone else says here and is not typed yet, it's also good to see you. And for those that will be here in the future and will be joining us shortly, it is also good to see you. I hope you guys have had a good week so far. We are through the halfway point of it and moving closer and closer to the weekend and all that. Today we are going to continue doing the Gladiator Lancer that we did last time I was doing my Marines. I need to get the list out again on what I was doing for my Space Marine list. Definitely need to update it, especially with the new edition coming and all that stuff. Yeah, you said you look very nerdy while wearing the glasses and stuff, which I do not believe. I think they probably just work for your face as well as they can. I guess I should really move over to the screen, huh? And get going. Let's move over here. And I will get my little things up and we will get going. Okay. There are going to be a lot of there's a lot of steps I gotta do. Do I want to work on the body or do I want to work on the top? I think I should keep working on the bottom and then the top will be fine. Although what do I have really left on the top to do? Gotta do some like the shiny gunmetal stuff with it. Reality. I guess besides the Marines like armor and stuff itself, I really don't have a lot. I wish when I was painting up these orange lines to begin with, I wish I didn't speed paint and that it worked a little bit better. It's going to take a lot of layers to get that looking the way I want it to. I might hit this part with the speed paint and then go in with the actual layered paint. And that way at least I have a decent base. I do gotta do some cleanup about there and a few other. Oh yeah, and I still have like the little guns on the side here, which I think, besides some metallic, they're almost done. You know what? Let's do those, and then I'll be good with that. What's up, Vil? Welcome to stream. I will admit, I want to keep working on the night and get it like a little bit closer to being done. I think it's good to get these two projects completed though. I've had this one sitting on the back burner longer than the night, so things need to be done. We ran that down. I'm doing good. I initially had plans to do a 2v2 tomorrow, but that kind of fell through on miscommunication, and that was I think a little bit on both our parts for that. I reached out to my opponent and was like, "Hey, do you want to do a 2v2?" He thought that I had two friends that I want to get into Warhammer and play, and I was looking for a teammate for them. And I have a friend that I want to get more into Warhammer, and I want to know if him and his friend want to do a 2v2. So, we rescheduled for next week Friday. So, there won't be a stream Friday, and there won't be a stream Thursday either. I already have that planned out for next week. But we will have a back-to-back stream on Tuesday and Wednesday, is my plan. Because I've scheduled, I'm scheduling my Warhammer games in advance. I'm scheduling my week in general in advance. Which, kind of a good thing I'm working on the Space Marines, because the person I'm doing the game with Thursday wants to fight my Marines, and it's been a minute since I've actually used them. And I know in October we got that big update coming around, which, good and bad for everyone. Good and bad with that. I'm not gonna bring up stuff that we don't need to. I did more research. I didn't really realize how... I guess I will bring up a little bit more stuff. I can also zoom this in. No, I gotta push that back up. Over there. Really better? Ish. At least you still get to play a 2v2. I'm a sole Warhammer dude in my friend group. Trying to get one of them in and try to expand on that later on. Honestly, it does take one. There are more that I want to get into the game. And I've said this before. They're more into Magic than other stuff, and I have... I'll play Magic. It's a fun system. I get to hang with my friends and stuff. It doesn't scratch all the itches that I have when it comes to my hobbies. I wish Warhammer was cheaper, or wargaming in general was cheaper. I'm sure there are many ways to make it cheaper. And I know with Magic you make it as expensive or cheap as you want to. But I like sitting down, building and painting something and being like, I made this. This is my dude on the table. And then I get to smash my models against someone else's models and see who comes out on top. Or I get to make a little story. Most cats are annoying. But Eternal, it's good to see you here. Hope you're doing well. I hope your cat does stop being annoying for you. One of my friends is going to play the starter set with me. So that's a start. One other friend is a Pokemon collector and doesn't really play with them. Though cause his collection is that's very, very expensive. That's an expensive Pokemon collection. I know there's more expensive ones out there, like the dude that's collecting nothing but Kabuto. Yeah, because it's Kabuto, not Kabutops that he's collecting. So his stuff is inflated in price over time. That is what's happened. I don't want to do all the skulls quite yet. No, I can't, because there are more parts that I need to paint black. I have started collecting Pokemon again, but more for like the cards that I want. I've gotten lucky on a few cards. Don't play any game. No, play Kill Team. Play that Eternal. Well, weren't you, like, trying to paint up some kill teams for yourself? Well, what changed? Well, do that instead of gaming. I want you to leave this stream, go out, get yourself a kill team, or enough models to make a kill team, and then go and play. Well, you don't have a choice, I'm telling you. Hi, Ruby. How you doing, bud? Okay. And the doggo has made his presence. Yeah, do that. Paint up some kill teams. I haven't played much Combat Patrol. I do want to play more of it. Okay. So, I'm getting into the thing again of, like, I'm not touching certain models and stuff. Because I think, oh, I'll do the for streams and stuff. But then it's kind of like holding back on a bunch of other, like, armies and stuff that I want to do. That makes sense? Like, I should do a day where I build every single Combat Patrol I have. Not, just build it. Don't paint it. Just build them all. And then, you know, get my friends together and be like, hey, let's do a game. And go about that way. I really should reach out to them and try to do that again. Who just messaged me? Okay, if Cry is here, that is a lot cheaper. I already have all the Combat Patrols and armies that I would want. For Vil, I don't know if you know this or not. I have plenty of models to last me a few years. I have, I think, 6 armies, in quotes. To list it off, my largest and biggest one is my Space Marine list. That is probably a 3K plus army. And then I have 1,000 points in Custodes. I have Guard models that I want to do. I have Knights, which you guys have seen the Knights. I have the old Tyranid Combat Patrol, the one from the starter box. Actually, I have the Ultimate Starter Box, which is why I have that. And then that's it for full armies. I have Seraphon and, like, AOS. Actually, now I have, like, four AOS armies, and I say I have them does not mean they're built. I have the Seraphon or the Lizardman Spearhead box that is semi-built. Like, I got most of it together, not all of it. And then I got some hodgepodge Slaves of Darkness models. I think that's their faction. It's just the Chaos in general. Because I grabbed models that I like the look of, and I thought I could just make a spearhead with. Turns out I can't. And then I also have... Now I have the... I now have the... I think it's the Ultimate Starter Box for AOS. The one that has the... I want to call them Thunder Warriors. No, Stormcast. That has the Stormcast and Skaven in it. Hey, Coffee, how's it going? Yeah, definitely hold off on buying the Codex or a lot of models right now, Vil. See what comes out in October. I'm definitely more sad now, like, seeing what is... I'm definitely more sad seeing what is going to Legends. What's up, Dark? Like, also thinking out loud here on some bits. But yeah, just to kind of reiterate, Vil, I have Knights, Space Marines, Custodes, Tyranids, Guard, oh, and Chaos. I have the Night Lord's Combat Patrol, so I have six armies for Warhammer. Ooh, the Land Raider is a lot of fun. Hold on, I'm gonna grab mine. Well, no, there goes the top dude. It is a lot. It is a lot. I got caught up in FOMO. The Space Marine guy just fell off, but this is unfinished. This is my Land Raider Redeemer. Would heavily recommend getting some magnets and magnetizing the gun part so you can switch out. But yeah, this is a fun model to have on the board. Like, I love this thing. It's not fully glued on either because I still gotta paint it. But it's been sitting ready to get paint. It's at least like semi-tabletop ready. I'm gonna find out where that guy went and put this thing back. At some point, I plan on doing a first company full army. Ooh. Let's see, if you do true metallic metal, will it take you quicker or not? I guess it'll take you about the same amount of time. Yeah, if you want them done quick, then just go with like true metallic metal. What kill team are you planning on doing, Eternal? I will fully admit, I got caught up in FOMO when I got caught up heavy in the FOMO when I first started. Oh, then definitely do regular metallic. Nice. Very nice build. Ooh, excuse me. If you can find some, get some las guns, not like the guard las guns, but like the ones that would go on like a vehicle, and just magnet those and use those, because this is the thing that I find relatively dumb. Again, this is GW as a company and all that, but the Land Raider is a model you can only buy online, and it just comes with the like las gun, like the las cannon. That's what I'm thinking. But if you buy the Redeemer / Crusader, it's the same model, but it just comes with a flamer or a bunch of bolters. I wish it was one full kit you could buy. I don't think they would ever do that because money. Yeah. You know, the Venerable Dreadnought, I do kind of... I want it for the collection on, like... I think this is cool. Like, I'm getting caught up in the FOMO of, like, I want the Hammerfall Bunker. I've wanted it for, like, a little bit, but I'm like, I'm not going to get around getting it. But now that I know it's going to Legends, I want it more now. But there's no need to get it. I'm literally going to get it and just use it as a Legends model or a custom terrain feature on my own personal games. Like, I literally sat down and thought, oh, well, if I'm doing a game of Warhammer with someone, I'll say this is an objective, and whoever gets here first, like, they can do an action and, like, shoot off whatever guns this thing has. Which I think would be relatively cool. Yeah, I don't need to buy. I think what I'll do eventually is go on eBay and just buy one. And I'll just, like, I don't know, I'll do something with it. But I got plenty of my own models. You know another freaking model that I want to start digging into? I want to dig into the new Knight models I bought so bad. Well, that's another one that I'm like, I think chat would enjoy this. But the problem is that I'm already painting Knights. So you guys are getting spoiled with Knights there. Do you really want to see me build and paint, like, a bunch of new Knights? And I almost want to leave it as, like, a 500 sub goal. I will say, I like fighting against World Eaters a lot. They are a fun army. Okay, when you know, like, how to deal with World Eaters and what you need to do to kind of combat them, they're a fun army to fight. Ultima. I say Ultima, even though there are others that they could be from, I think. I think the Cursed Founding was also one I thought about. At least more recently, I thought about making them like the 13th or Cursed Founding. Just because how big their mutation is. But I chose Ultima because of when I got into Warhammer. I wanted... yeah, I wanted to do Ultima just for how easy or early, how recently I got into Warhammer. That's what it is. So I was reading all these messages and I got, like, distracted. for a second. And then I'm going to go. Bill says, if you have a Chaos Army, do the Knight, the spoiler, but get the Expert kit with the Chaos Armor, a bit more expensive, but it looks freaking great. I'm gonna have to look up what the spoiler is. If it's the full melee one, I think that was already planned. And then Dark says, if someone knows how to combat them, bring Forge Fiend and Angron with Lord of Skulls and a Chaos Knight. I haven't... Actually, there's one time I have played into Angron, and I've done the Forge Fiend. My most fun game with them was literally a... If we played it all the way through, it was a dead even 60-60 in 10th edition. And... like, it was the one time that I was actually, like... It was one of those points where I've played this army so much that I kind of, like, knew what I need to do with them. Ah, okay. Well, I do have a Chaos Army, but I'm not planning on doing any Knights for it. My buddy that's into Chaos, I recommended a Knight for his army just to have a big, like, tank monster. And I think it was... Which one was it that I was thinking? The image for it is a full white armor with a fist and a chainsword. And I wanted the chainsword. Let me look up Warhammer. Chaos Knights. It is the... Not the spoiler. Where are you? No, you exist. I know you do. I've seen you before. Is it one of the builds for the Rampager? It is one of the builds for the... No, not Rampager. Knight Ruinator. It's one of the builds for that. It has the chainsword and the fist, which both of those I want to put onto a regular knight. Like, that's 100% I want... Because that hook makes so much sense to put on a knight. I'm doing well, darn. Good to see you here. Yeah, it is a big price difference between the two. So that's why I'm almost tempted to be like, just find on eBay and buy it. Or I was willing to split it with my friend to be like, hey, I'll split this with you. The only thing I want is these two bits. Like, split it evenly with him. But we never got around to doing that, and instead, he did buy the World Eater Combat Patrol, which I will either build with him, or I will sit with him, and I'll be like, hey, write down what loadouts you want for each of the models, and I will build those. Am I done with the black? I think I am. I just realized how much this little top piece kind of sticks up. No, I'm not storing a corn army. I'm never starting a corn army. I'm mentioning this. I'm mentioning corn more because my friend bought the World Eater Combat Patrol, and I'm going to build and paint that on stream for specifically the people asking for it. It's not an army that I'm doing. I will do Chaos, but I'm going to do a Night Lords and Iron Warriors Chaos army. Like, for a while, all the Chaos models that you'll see for a bit are not mine, they're a friend's models. I need to stay focused on where I'm at. I do need to paint something black on this guy. No, Dark is playing Red Dead. Okay, I am done with the black, so I think I need to... I gotta do kind of like a couple things. They feel like they belong to the Mechanicus, not Space Marines. Just feels wrong. Oh, the hover tanks. I'm not sure if it's just me, but I don't like the... I mean, you said before you're not a fan of hover tanks. I know not everyone's a big fan of it. I think it's cool, but I know there are some conversions out there with the treads. And I do like... I like the... Land Raider with the treads more. I need to find that orange speed paint, do that one part, and then go from there. And I was just being blind. Yeah, it was. I was just being blind. Wondering if I should run this Space Marine list on Thursday, or if I should go through and make a new one. Yeah, I should try this one. I should try to do this one. It's been a minute. Let's do this. And there we go. Now I got the amount I need. In case I become evil? What if I'm already evil, though? What if, like, this is... Like, what if this is the evil version of me, and everything else you would see or interact with is just... Yeah. Oh. I will kind of say this now. Saturday is a special stream. We will have a special guest on. Honestly, it's the reason why I tested doing a very late night stream. The person that I'm doing the person I'm having on, their schedule is only work a late night one. I'm having Rosaria Rose on stream. I reached out to them like 2 weeks ago, just kind of asking, and we set a date for, let's see, it'd be the 29th of September. Rosaria Rose is another, they're another Warhammer painter streamer. They are a VTuber. I don't know all their lore very well, but yeah, I'll be having them on. I enjoy their content and want to have them on for a little bit, so I just reached out and asked. I think you guys will like him very much, but I bring this up because I want you guys on your best behavior. I know some of you can be a little rambunctious that this is in the end of the day, this is going to be like a test run. Just because I know how some of you are, I worry about what you... I worry because I want to make a good impression. And I want you guys to make a good impression as well. It's all good coffee. No, I will not be... I never plan on playing COD in my entire life. I think that is a... like, not a fun franchise. I haven't played Space Marine 2 in quite a bit. I should touch the game again. I've just been busy doing my own stuff. But yeah, I am excited. Actually, I tried to hint at like a collab happening a couple times on stream here and there. So I'm excited. Hopefully this will mean good things moving forward. I'm not drinking lunch. That's getting really annoying, Dark. I've been trying my best to ignore it, but it's getting very annoying. you bought it and you think it was at 124 hours on it? Oh, you bought it in May! And you put 124 down. I mean, how many hours do I have in Space Marine 2 myself? Now I'm curious. I don't have it downloaded anymore either. I have only 39 hours in the game. Oh. The worst knee injury I've ever had, I don't know what it is currently, but I'd say what I went through, I had a pretty bad sprain like over a year and a half ago. I cracked, I'm pretty sure I got a 3rd degree ankle sprain, and I definitely have a pop in my knee, or there was a pop in my knee when I did this too. I don't know how bad it is severely because I've not been to the doctors for it. Probably should have gone, but at the same time, I cannot afford a doctor visit. Even with my insurance and stuff like that. Even though I was working at the time, I'm like, eh. But yeah, I did it on a Saturday. I could not walk on my leg for... I couldn't walk on it at all for 3 days. And then if I step wrong now still, I will cause... Yeah, it still causes pain. Ooh, sushi. What sushi are you making today? Also, hello, Octopus. Good to see you. Thank you. I'm a little bit nervous on how it's fully turning out, but I think it's actually going okay. Hello, Mike. Welcome to stream. When I was 5 and playing in my driveway, I fell directly on my left knee. The doctor had to scrape all of my cartilage out. So since then, when I squat and then get back up, you hear a knee click. Oh, my knees pop all the goddamn time. Both my knees pop so much. That just sucks though in general, especially at 5. God, at 5, not having, you pretty much have no cushion for your knee your entire life. That makes sports and so many other things more difficult. What's up, Lily? And Octopus says, it's a cucumber, shred carrot, crab avocado, spicy mayo. I don't know what the name of it is. Nothing wrong with a personal favorite. Who? I am... Okay. So for those that know and for those that don't know, I recently am trying to get into a sport. I'm not a very athletic, sporty person. I'm trying to get it into medieval combat. And I'm holding myself back on as much as I could do because of my leg injury. And I know there's some things that, like, I could be doing better, but because of my leg, it's not going as smoothly as I want it to. I should have worked out today, but I will go for a run tomorrow. And actually, no. Yeah, I'm doing a run, and I'm doing some sparring with a friend, and then we're going to be painting Warhammer, and hopefully doing a quick game. But we'll see. But I will say, in the 2 weeks I've been doing it, I have improved quite a bit in my form. Like, last time I sparred with this friend, he hit me so many more times than I hit him. And I think this next time around, I whacked him as much as he whacked me, or... I know I hit him in the head twice, and I felt bad about it. But those were also clean hits, too. Okay. Now I'm gonna go back to chat. Ooh, I'm sorry to hear that, Dark. Well, glad to have you here for a bit, Lily. Also, I won my game against my local tenured player last Saturday. Nice! Always good to hear. Always good to hear that the bugs got beamed back. Coffee. What happened to me is I was stepping into a truck after a day of work. My right leg gave out, and I fell on my foot and got caught behind the knee in a way that it wasn't meant to. That is oddly similar. Yeah, I'm excited that I'm doing medieval combat. It's been a lot of fun. It's gonna be like a while before I even get into armor. I might see if I can build my own armor. I think that'd be a fun thing to do on the channel, is build my own armor and stuff like that for it. You missed a little bit, Ando. How's it going, Ark? Have I thought about doing... So, I did say earlier I am doing a collab with another Warhammer streamer, this Saturday. I am open to doing more collabs. I don't know how to approach it, if that makes sense. And then Lily said all Lysander did was kill a whole squad of gene stealers. He did survive the battle, though. Wait, no. He did survive the battle? Or he didn't? Oh, he lived. Nice. How's it going, Table? Good to see you here. No. I appreciate you guys wanting to do that stuff. I will admit, there is one thing I want to do with you guys. I'd like to take a day and, I don't know, just like hang out, chat, and paint with everyone in the Discord. Not sure when about doing that. I'm also like nervous and scared about doing that because I'm used to you all being like little text blurbs on screen, and actually hearing your guys' voices I think would be a little bit jarring. You wish you could have a mini Psyker Sergeant for Space Marines or something? What do you mean by like mini? Well, no. It definitely wouldn't be like a stream thing. No. I wouldn't do that as like a live stream thing. Well, fair enough, Ando. Not everyone has to speak. It's just a general idea. But yeah, for those that are... I mean, most of you aren't new, but... So, for those that will be here for the late night stream, I'm asking you guys to be on good behavior. The person I am collabing with is Rosaria Rose. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. They are a Warhammer VTuber painter, and they do a little bit of gaming here and there. But we'll just be hanging out, chatting, and all that stuff. Yeah, and I will admit, it's kind of something I've been hinting at for a little bit, I guess. Like I said, it was 2 weeks ago when I first reached out to them and all that stuff. Day 2 asking for a tank named Lily. God, what did I say in response for that the first time? I don't remember. You know what, Lily? Do you want to be named after this tank, or do you want this tank named after you? I don't have a name for it yet. I definitely want to get a name for it, especially if I do like crusades and stuff again. But yeah, going back a minute, I have promoted Rosaria's channel early stream once before in the Discord. I would fully recommend checking out their content and all that stuff. I really enjoy their painting streams. I think they have a really amazing style. This is a Gladiator Lancer that I'm working on. So yeah, this is the Gladiator Lancer. It can sometimes kill models and sometimes not. I'm pretty sure Rosaria's not a woman. I'm pretty sure they stated before that they're a guy. But also, it does not matter, nor do I care. Ooh, I wasn't thinking about putting the name Lily on it. Could certainly do that. Again, Octopus, I don't fully know. And nor does it, like, it's not my, like, place to pry and asking me, like, oh, I'm gonna do, like, this. Like, no. They're a person just like me, just like you. And we both have a common interest, which is mini painting. Ooh. Be safe, Swiggity. That stuff is no joke. Did I miss anything else? That's a good question. I don't know how to at people in stream. Okay, well, now I'm gonna have to find a way to like either add your name on here or throw on like a lily pad. Just type it manually. Fun. Honestly, that's what I do. I don't even I just like type out the person's name that I'm responding to. I can try. Should I just put on the floorboards? Oh, you guys can see better inside than I can. I can't even see inside in person. We got 10 people viewing? Holy crap. I'm gonna look something up. I talked about it last stream a little bit. I like it. I'm a big fan of the, I'm a big fan of the datasheet update. I'm hoping, like, we're gonna get a big power creep is the problem. In the long run, yeah, I think it's actually like a good thing to up the toughness of Marines, because personally in 10th edition, like by the end of it, my Marines didn't feel like how Space Marines should be to me. I know we're playing a tabletop game and it's hard to balance out a lot of things. I do feel bad for Paul. Honestly, his response video was very funny. I loved it very much. But I want my Marines to feel as elite as they kind of are in games and books. Yes, it depends on the writer, depends on the game, all that stuff. But also should have each faction balanced or matching kind of their whole counterpart. So I know the Eldar players are kind of crying right now because like Phobos Marines are moving to an 8-inch movement. which I don't know if Eldar are 8 or 10-inch movement. I know Eldar are meant to be the fastest, like, army in the game. Personally, give them like a 9 to 10-inch movement just for like Eldar, and I think that will. I mean, 10 is kind of crazy. I think a 9 would work just fine. That makes them like a little bit faster than Space Marines, which I know they are blazingly fast. Yeah, that's true. Like, until I have the codex in my hands and I see the point cost change and all that stuff, like, it's going to be a more elite army than it already is. I do like how they're making all other, like, Space Marine factions or sub-factions have, like, the same amount of toughness and everything else in the beginning. So I could still play my Dark Angels with that same toughness. I'm sad my intercessors are changing, though. I really like just being able to, if I see a target, just send, like, 20 freaking bolter shots at them. And then, like, securing an objective and then just leaving it be. I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna have to, like, play with them and kind of see how they turn out. That's kind of, like, where I'm at. At least mentally with all of it. I will be sad if, like, a certain lieutenant does go away. I did kind of mention, which, Swiggity, I did make a spot for you to complain about the most current Warhammer stuff going on in the Discord, but it's also a general news spot. Okay, let me just kind of read up. Phil says, I would depend on the points. Yep, I did kind of already say that. Not gonna, Lily then says, not gonna lie, the word Lily would be kind of hard to freehand. I think it's doable. It's a lot of straight lines. And then Octopus says, I personally hope they take the Space Marine army in a much more elite direction. I just hope that getting a toughness 5, I hope that they get their toughness 5, but also be more small strike force with less models. And then Vil, the only issue I have is that they release it all in parts. Should be a new edition, includes all the codexes at the same time. All new codex at the same time. It's like they do nothing for 3 years and then they start over. Especially if they make it like 300 mil net profit a year. Yeah. See you later, Lily. Personally, I don't know why they don't release all the codexes at the same time as well. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to make any excuses for them. I think they should be able to, like, release every single one together. It seems like a lot of what they're doing is just like, they give us something new, and then they spend the whole edition, like, balancing it out to being almost back to where it was before. That's just like a general guesstimation. This is like my first time seeing an edition changeover. But I thought it was very odd on, like, why is every single faction, like, not having their codex right away? Because, like, what faction was, like, the last one to get their codex? Like, whoever got their, like, 10th edition codex, they got it, and then, like, a few months later, they did an edition change. I feel so bad for those people. Or for the people that, like, that bought a 10th edition codex, planning on playing. Like, what? Just from, like, a player point, it doesn't make any sense. Maybe business-wise, there's a sense to it. Aqua says, I personally wouldn't mind it taking 3 years for all the codexes to drop. If editions lasted 5 to 6 years, also give each Chaos God a codex. Quit with the separate Demon and Space Marine BS. I liked, honestly, three years seems like such a short time period for a new edition. Like, I'm really liking 11th edition, and I'm dreading when 12th comes out. It's not even on, like, the horizon, and I'm already like, I don't want to deal with 12th. I'm happy with 11th. Like, 10 was cool, but, like, 11th kind of has fixed more issues I've had with the game, I guess. It's not perfect, not by a long shot. There's definitely, like, if I'm doing games on the channel, I'm gonna give you guys a heads up now. I'm probably gonna be sticking with 11th even when 12th comes out, unless, like, 12th is a dramatic change or improves on the problems that I do have with the game. Then I'm not going, like, to switch. And my biggest issues are more the, I guess, it is the narrative side. I really like playing Crusade, and I really liked playing Crusade in 10th. I really liked the idea of, like, making a story with a bunch of people or your friends and stuff like that. And you all build lore for your characters or chapters. It also felt like you were able to kind of do whatever as a... Yeah. Goddamn shareholders. I mean, can Warhammer be like a... It's not a public-owned company, but can it be like a player-owned company? I think that would be kind of a thing. I know personally, I'm kind of thinking on, I want to run a Crusade again, and I'm not sure how to do that with 11th. I know they have these cards and, like, oh, this is meant to be like a quick way of playing Crusade and all that. I'm like, no, this just seems overly complex and confusing to me. I like the book. Okay. They tried to simplify Crusade with it being a card system. I will fork over as much cash as I have to help buy out GW. It used to be privately owned and switched to... It used to be privately owned, which would have been a lot better for the game. Oh, so are they now a... Oh, no, Lord. Where was I in my train of thoughts? Oh, yeah. I'm, like, okay. I have the card box. I probably should sit down, read it, try to figure it out, or look up, like, how does it work? How do you do this, this, and this with, like, the Crusade stuff? I don't see myself using those cards unless there's something really unique or, like, drastic with them. I am probably going to use the 10th edition book and tell people, hey, if we're running a crusade, we're treating it like 10th edition so that all your characters and stuff... I don't know. I liked the paperwork book style with that crusade. Like, I liked doing that. It was my first one, so I'm a little bit nostalgic to it. But that's just kind of where I stand with it. I almost want to do a combo system. I think what they tried with 500 Worlds, it worked for some people. It did not work for the group I played with. My local Warhammer store tried running a 500 Worlds campaign, which was not like Crusade at all. It seemed like it was a supplement that you could try to implement into Crusade, or if you were playing with a bunch of friends and you wanted to just do regular Warhammer, then you could do that. It was probably them trying to prepare us to switch from doing regular Crusade to something like that. That is kind of where I was going to be getting to. So what Octopus just said is kind of my mental thought with what I want to do when running a crusade. I wouldn't go that long with it, like until someone holds everything, because that's a, I mean, between you and like your buddy, that's fine. You guys are gonna play for as long as you want. For a casual group that meets up like once or twice a month, something like that, I think it's a little bit harder. But I'm thinking on like, if people wanted to... Okay, we're all trying to take over this planet. These are the locations that we're fighting for. Kind of like what they did with Dagmire. Like each week, okay, you're fighting over this location on this planet. And then it like kind of benefits your faction a little bit more. Also, not gonna pigeonhole every faction into like 3 factions on like Xenos, Chaos, and Imperium. If you're doing a game and you just happen to have a little squabble with like an Imperial Knights player, it's not gonna hurt the overall faction, but you'll be able to put your points to the game, I guess. It's really just a context for a weekly Warhammer game you probably won't ever finish. Yeah, I know, that's fine. Like I said, it's between you and your friend. Like, that is the never-ending game. that's just worse news right there. Okay, I'm gonna read off this. You also tried a custom homemade game mode based off of Helldivers for Gambits and opponent's territory called Strike Force. Do you have the rules for that anywhere? Because I'd be interested in taking a look at that. Okay. Let me know what you have or anything that you're working on, because I am interested. Yeah. You have permission to DM me on Discord about that, because that seems interesting. If you have an octopus, you should kind of look at 500 Worlds and see if that's similar to what you're trying to do. Because, like, 500 Worlds had each faction, like, depending on how many players there were, they all had, like, a starting place, and then they could do stuff to weaken other factions on a planet, and then, like, attack them, or stuff like that. I think if I do that, I am gonna... These ideas I'm coming up with are not going to be for any, like, large-scale big games. I'm definitely thinking on, like, if I'm playing with a friend, these are some custom rules that we're doing. Because the idea I also have is, like, okay, if you're attacking a planet, like, what's a benefit that, like, the attacker or defender would have while, like, on this planet? It's like, cool. The defender's, like, supply lines got cut. Maybe that means, like, they don't have as much fortifications in some spots, or... what I don't want to do is, like, cut their point total for a game, because then that would just be drastically different. Ooh. He's playing Dark Templar? That's different from Black Templar? Dark Templar. I kind of like that. I am the Dark Templar. I think Dark Templars is a much cooler name than Black Templars. I gotta sit down and, like, kind of write my ideas for a lot of these things. What else? You can certainly try. Be careful when making me out of clay. I might come to life and start harassing your house. got that. So, oh, you know what I should do while I am messing with this guy? I should do this part, which is going to take a lot of freaking coats. Because it is working from a blue up to a bright orange. Swiggity, are you okay? Is there a spider? Now I'm curious, like, is there actually a spider in screen? Because I don't see one. Oh, spider in the Discord. Oh! Oh, those are cool. Let's see if I can get another gun there. I know this guy should technically be painted red because a Tech Marine is supposed to be up here doing this stuff, but it's gonna be a regular battle brother. Okay, I am done with all the oranges. Now do I move over to doing the metallics? I think so. I do need to be careful where I touch. Whew, excuse me. You're doing Cities of Sigmar, so that's your long-term one? Or are you still deciding on which one you want to do? Okay. So, I think I tried to hint at this or in my first reply. If you chose if you chose to do chaos, I understand they're renegade and all that, but just kind of hear me out here. If they went to... What's up, Blood for the Blood God? Hey, Manny. What's up? So, the reason why I said if you go with Chaos with it, you could do some interesting kit bashes using either Death Guard or Zinch models and stuff like that. And you could probably give, like, if you ran a Psyker in your army, you could give the Psykers some, like, moth wings, or any flying units. Instead of jetpacks, you do ones that are cool in my homebrew chapter. Oh yeah, hold on. I'll go back and read it. I fully didn't read it. Hey Swamp, in my goofy little moth homebrew idea, I had fun thinking of details of a chapter and how I could tie them to moths. But for your own chapter, what are your favorite little details? Oh my lord. Okay. I have not thought about that. I have like a very broad brush on like details for them, but I haven't thought about like the little detail stuff. Yeah. No, I'm happy to give ideas out and all that stuff. I have one for a character if you want to hear it. I have like a little detail that I am doing for a character that is... Because I'm building the Armageddon box... I took the Intercessor Sergeant, and I threw on some jeweler chain, and I made each link count as a battle brother that Sergeant has lost. In my head, when I finish this Intercessor squad, it is going to replace my current 5-man Intercessor squad that I use all the time. There have been so many games where my Intercessors have survived and one model, the Sergeant, has been left. So I wanted as like a little detail to be every time he has lost, pretty much he has 7 links, meaning that he's gone through an entire squad and some extra guys. I want that to be like a little story detail. That's like a little detail thing. That's not chapter detail, it's just one little character. I haven't taken any time to really work on my chapter anymore since the like initial start. This goes back to my earlier conversation. That is why I love Crusade, because a lot of the lore and stuff that I made for my chapter, I made during the Crusade or because of the Crusade. I want all my lore for my chapter to be from my games. I have like another little snippet on a character or moment for my chapter, and it will go in like to lore wise. During that crusade, I played against World Eaters. I did not win that game, but one of my favorite moments from that was my captain with Relic Shield got into a 1v1 with Karn the Betrayer. And he actually managed to kill Karn on his own. And my opponent tried to do like the roll thing to bring back Karn, and Karn did not come back. So if I ever write down some lore for that moment, which I do want to, I'm gonna like write that specific moment in. I have another little short story, not from any games, but one that I want to do. I wanted to do this. You can do it. I believe in you, Eternal. What's up, France? I want to do a long form video kind of introducing my homebrew chapter, and eventually I'll get around to it. Maybe I'll do that with the Armageddon box, maybe not. But the idea I have for a short story is that you follow a Marine as he moves up through the chapter. He starts as like one of the people outside of the outside of the mega city, exploring, doing some stuff. Goes into a he goes into an abandoned building, and in there he eventually sees a what eventually will become he sees an older Marine. He doesn't know that it's a Space Marine, all that stuff. He knows that he sees some sort of reptilian creature, and it's humanoid, all that stuff, and it comes at him. And then, I feel like what I want to have it story-wise is then my Marines show up, and they're clearing this building and looking for this thing specifically, but they just happen to find this, young child here. They take him and induct him into a neophyte. He then moves up through the ranks. He then discovers what happens to the older Marines that start to go through a transformation. He then leaves while the planet is going through a warp event, and he runs into the jungle, and he runs back to the building that he was first found in back when he was a child all those years ago. And he's now pretty much, he's mostly transformed or fully transformed. And how I wanted it to end is that he comes upon a child exploring this building as well. He goes and tries to speak with the child, but as he gets closer, he realizes the child looks familiar. Almost strikingly familiar. And then as it slowly dawns upon him that what he's looking at is the younger version of himself. And then that same group of Marines that took him in when he was a child burst in through the door and capture him and take him back and take him to the holding area for all the older Marines. So I wanted like a weird little kind of time loopy story to describe what happens to Marines and stuff. Welcome back, Lily. Yes. Oh no, it is like the I guess a mixture. Kind of thought about Black Rage a little bit, like do I want to add Black Rage stuff into it, but not really. It's definitely like during his transformation. Yeah, I retouched up all the orange with the proper orange color I wanted to do. I am working on the cobalt metal. So yeah. But this is like the general little idea that I had. This is actually a chapter detail, and this is one that I'll let you guys in on if you ever. I think there was like one person that said they wanted to paint my chapter and all that stuff. So one little detail in my chapter is that they have the same exact chapter master from when they first started. And now, I will clarify, it's the exact same, doesn't mean it's the same person. The idea that I had is that with the Council of 13, they meet, so whenever their chapter master disappears, the Council of 13 comes together, votes on a new captain to take the place of the disappeared captain, take on his name, his role, and his armor of that guy, and become him fully. So, the name of my chapter master is Draco Rex, based off one of my favorite dinosaurs, but the name meaning Dragon King. So the idea is that it's not a person, it is a title that is passed down to every chapter master. It is always a captain with relic shield that leads the chapter. Yes. I didn't realize like what Cypher was until learning more about it. But it is similar to Cypher in that way. So it can be kind of awkward or difficult when like the last chapter master disappears and the new one takes his place. And there was maybe like an interaction that there was something said to like another faction, and they bring it up and the old one has to like bluff his way through being like, yes, I was a part of that, this was a thing, all that. There is like a room of knowledge written down on like the general gist of things, or like a code up to date, but that's more the job of the librarian or the chaplain. I haven't read much about Cypher. I've only like read like one book about him. Technically 1.5. There's a short story that involved him, which was like my first introduction with him. But those are like some small details. I don't know if that's what you were looking for directly. Those are just like, you know, little things that I've added in for myself that I haven't really shared yet. If you ever have seen an Emperor's Moth wings, my goal is to be able to do one day freehand that eye pattern on one of the pauldrons if I ever do the Moth Tactical. You mined and you found gold. Thank you. I appreciate that. Although, I will admit, I do kind of feel called out a little bit. I did watch the video from... let me see if I can remember the name. I got to pull up their page. Astartes Anonymous. They made a video on, like, the 3 most common Space Marine homebrew chapters. And I got called out on, like, the first 2. Ooh, I'd love to see some image of that blood. Which, that reminds me, Octopus. If you ever go the Death Guard route, you better paint a Mortarion as an Emperor's Moth. I'll put that on hand. Is that a video I was talking about when you mentioned there's a Dragon Wolf in like 2 streams ago? Oh, no, that's just me move my hand. My camera stand shaked. For a bit. Am I done with the metallics? I think I am. I think I gotta pull out the blue and do some cleanup. I do. If you go to the video description in both Twitch and YouTube, there is a link to the Discord. If you can't find it in the video, I also have it on my channel in my description. It is completely free to join. I'm never hiding that behind a paywall. I gotta sit down and like write more lore for my chapter. A lot of it I've kind of started to get. I gotta sit down and like write lore again for my chapter. A lot of it has kind of faded a bit. But I think I can remember enough to get... I do have the general gist of it on a docs, and I want to share it with everyone once I have it, like, more fleshed out. Okay, I'm going to close that in case an ad plays. Yeah, there's one. And bring that. Okay, that's good there. And we are good. Back to it. I appreciate the offer, Swiggity. If I need help, I will definitely take it. As of currently, a lot of the lore is from past games and like general character stuff that I need to write down. It's a lot of up in my head and I need to write it down. One of the things that I gotta research, and I haven't done it just because of laziness and I forgot, is how warp storms kind of work. I want my Space Marines home planet to be suffering from warp storms every like couple hundred years, which is then like why the planet is so hostile to anything outside the chapter, or to anything outside the planet. Because one of like the main things about my chapter's home planet is that there's only one, like, big city that the entire population kind of lives on. I mean, there's little clans and stuff that live out in the wild, but, like, on average, they're not lasting long. They have to either constantly move or stay somewhere, like, kind of safe. The only real safe place on the entire planet is this huge hive city that's built into a mountain, has a massive wall surrounding it that is being worked on and falling apart at the same time. And then, like, 2/3 of the city is built into a cave system. The city can only go so far down because the Marines kind of take the lowest and deepest spot as their kind of jail warden spot. So, like, the Marines have the highest point in the entire city, which is their monastery, and they hold the lowest point. And everyone else has to share what's in between. I do have a little bit of connecting lore between my Marines and Knights that if I do it right, my Marines might become Renegades and then eventually evolve into Chaos Marines. That's one of the lines I'm thinking about doing for my Marines. But I'm also thinking, like, do I really want to do that? Like, already enough, my Marines should be kind of deleted by the Inquisition. Just for their general, like, makeup as a chapter. Like, the gene seed and everything is what I'm saying. Maybe the problem with the Penitent Crusade is that, like, a lot of chapters do not come back from it. I probably did mention it. I do forget, like, my own things that I bring up. A permanent penitence crusade would work as well for what I'm trying to do, but the other thing is they would probably die very quickly while being on a permanent one. Like, they don't get resupplied, all that stuff. How to also kind of think about it a little bit. I mean, I'll say the bit of lore that I have connecting between my Knights and the Space Marines is that if my Space Marines gave a planet within their solar system to my Knight house, because the Knights lost their homeworld during my Marines' like first ever crusade. And kind of like for context, in my very last Warhammer game during that crusade, I was tired of losing, so I brought in the Lion and a Knight model to use in my army, and I lost that game. And then I started doing a Knight army, and I'm like, I think I want to connect my two armies together. So I have it where Space Marines gave a planet, but in exchange for having the planet, the Knights have to allow, like, people from outside their knight houses to use their knights. Meaning, like, you lost a bunch of knights, we'll get you some more knights. Just have the nobility from, like, this planet or our planet. See if they can use a knight. If they can use it, they will become a house, but they will be a part of your system. And then the other one was, if we're ever called upon something and we cannot go to it for any reason, you are to go and fight for us in our stead. Those are the two, like, ideas and connecting, like, terms that were agreed upon by the knights to kind of continue doing what they're doing. Hence why, like, two of my armigers are so drastically different looking. And also why my other knights are looking so different color-wise. Now, I'm pretty sure Space Marine chapters are not allowed to order around other factions within the Imperium to, like, go fight for them. If they're in combat and stuff, yeah, they can make suggestions, I think, and all that. But they can't, like, oh, we're sending in this force in our stead. And they have to do it because we tell them to. That's a very big... Well, maybe I stand corrected. Hold on a sec. I gotta get rid of this AI BS and here. There. We don't like AI here. Go away. My main idea with the whole, like, we're gonna tell this knight faction to go do this is because if my Marines are, like, trying to hunt down a battle brother that is going through the transformation and does not want to come back to the home world, they're gonna go do that before they do anything that the Imperium kind of tells them to do. So now they're like, we're gonna take advantage of these night situations and use it as a bit of a scapegoat for our own sake. That is the general idea I had for that. Which maybe what I'll do in the future, because not every single battle brother is going to go back and want to be, like, caged up for the rest of their lives as they transform into these just giant raptors pretty much. So maybe there is a renegade or chaos faction of my Space Marines out there that are going through the mutation and suffering from all that. The Knight situationship. It is. It honestly is a situationship. Because, I mean, I will admit, it's not a fair deal for the Knights. This is 40k. You're a Knight house that lost your planet to an Exterminatus because the Imperium could not defend and hold their ground. So one of like the Marine chapters that was meant to defend your land or defend your home obviously offers you a planet, and you're like, okay, that's fair because you are the cause of this. But then they're like, we have two conditions though. You do X and Y. That would have been a very long negotiation. And I think by the end, they'd have to be like, it's either we go extinct or we do this. That's why if you ever see me like post pictures of my knights, there's one knight that's painted like a proper knight house in 40k, and the rest are not. And I'm never going to strip that model. I'm tempted to, though. And they are in a... I mean, they are in a toxic situation, but they're a part of the Imperium. Everything in the Imperium is toxic. At least the Knights got a home. Not every single Knight faction's gonna get a new planet after their homeworld explodes from an Exterminatus. But it's definitely better than nothing. I know there's... no, I need to touch up more of the blue. There's far more to touch up before I even think about moving to a different paint. Don't do that, Swiggity. You know, it's funny you mention Fabius Bill, because that is one of the Chaos models my friend bought and built, and that I'm going to paint for him. Excuse me. Yeah, he wants me to, like, give him a top hat. I mean, he's got a hell of a strut. I went and wanted to give him a... Like, the way this man walks, he's walking with some swagger. I wanted to give him like a runway to walk on, pretty much. So that's gonna be a brick road that I'll have him in. But yeah, he's freaking chill. So I do need to prime him and at least get him like dry brushed. I'm supposed to be painting my friend's Chaos Army, but I've been working on my own stuff and focusing more on stream stuff than I have his stuff. Because the thing is, like, I don't think you guys want to see Chaos models. Yeah, Fabius Bile is Emperor's Children. But he's being running a just regular Chaos Space Marine army, so my friend was trying to find a apothecary model for Chaos because I I once played a game where I brought the apothecary and Hellblasters, and he killed a Hellblaster, and then it turned and then it became my turn, and I went to him like, well, in my command phase, I bring back a model that died, so that Hellblaster just comes back. Best luck with that. I probably should learn some 3D modeling as well. It's not a terrible idea. I kind of forget how many of you guys have me on in the background. It gets so quiet here that I don't even speak myself, and then y'all just start messaging here and there. Eternal, I can't get a good photo of my Krieg I painted. Did you find a paint scheme for your Krieg that you were happy with? Most people do. Most people do. I'm just used to you guys messaging and all that. I can just try. Nice. Well, send us the best photo you can take. Well, that's the main thing. If you're happy with it, then that's all that really matters. I do want to see it just because I always like seeing your models and stuff like that. You know what I really don't like? And this is like happening a lot more kind of recently with my models. This one has been painted blue for a while. I've touched here a few times tonight and the paint's rubbing off. How can I stop the paint from coming off of my models? Yes, I could varnish the models. I don't want to varnish them because I do, if I have to, plan on stripping them. If I ever choose to strip a model, I want it to be easier. Like, even on the front, that's been painted blue for a while. And now it's black. Like, what the heck? I have to touch the freaking carapace on the model. Or the whole... I have to touch the hull while I'm painting it. Excuse me. I don't know. I'm just going to complain about it because I can. I probably should. I should, because I like my painting handle. My painting handle works just fine for all my smaller models. I don't have one for my big one. Whew, excuse me. I think I got the top all... No, I did miss a spot. Um, I remember seeing this awesome hypothetical question on Reddit and want to share it. You are now your favorite little mortal of a marine from one of those Chaos Legions. Which legion do you choose? There's a whole paragraph for specifics, but that's... So I have to join a Chaos Legion? I don't want to join any of them because they all kind of suck. I'm going to read it again. I remember seeing this hypothetical question on Reddit and wanted to share it. You are now your favorite little mortal of a marine from one of the Chaos Legions. Which legion do you choose? You do specify Chaos Legion. Favorite human? Oh, you do say for a little mortal of a marine. Oh, I'm the favorite little mortal of a marine. Oh no, that's even worse. Oh no. Well, definitely not choosing Nurgle. I'm not choosing any of them that follow a Chaos God. So that knocks out 5. I'm not doing... So no Nurgle, no Khorne, no Tzeentch, no Slaanesh, no Word Bearers. Because that's just going to get really bad really quick. Not doing Iron Warriors because that's also bad. Even though they are one of my favorite actually, I think they are my only favorite Chaos Legion. Not doing them. I remember reading a book about like a Chaos. God, there was like a person that got took into the clutches of the Iron Warriors and like was a personal pet to an Iron Warrior. Was not a good thing. It was not good for them at all. Didn't help that Iron Warrior worshiped Khorne, but in general, not good either way. Yeah, Night Lords are also off the table for that reason as well. Like, yeah, I'm the favorite of one of the legions. I'm not lasting long, though, as, like, a Night Lords thing. Excuse me. The Chaos Undivided is tempting. Still sucks, but it's tempting. Alpha Legion, I'm just gonna get backstabbed at some point. But that one's like the least mutations, I think. I'm not counting any of the Renegade ones because that's not specific in the question. really does boil down to Chaos Undivided or Alpha Legion. Other than that, I don't... If I'm out Alpha Legion, I'm gonna get used on a plot and I get blown up for no fucking reason. That's 100% what's gonna happen. Excuse me. Oh, that looks good, Eternal. I don't know. I'm like... Yeah, there is no good option. Wait, don't like the World Leaders have a favorite human? It's just a ship though now? I really am leaning toward the Alpha Legion just because it's the one that's not... It's the one that's gonna, like, be the least worst out of them all. They're all still gonna be really bad, but, like, that's the one that's... Yeah, I don't know. Even in, like, 40k in general, it... Like, even being a part of any of the Space Marine chapters, not a good thing. I mean, probably because they're meant to be, like, a spy group. So if they're like, hey, let's take care of the ones that we can use as spies... Okay. Now for the little guns. And then that would be... And then I'm just going to do a bunch of metallic stuff after this. Because I realize there's a lot that I could kind of hit with metallics. Salamanders. I think salamanders is going to be a very quick answer for that. Again, I think people, and I did this before as well, overhype their niceness. They are one of the nicer Marines to people. But also, like, I think the Ultramarines are decent to people. Ultramarines wouldn't be bad. Raven Guard's another one that's like, yeah, I'd definitely, like, be okay with Raven Guard. Or, Ultramarines. I don't think I would be for Dark Angels. As much as I really do love the Dark Angels, there's too many times where I could become a liability to them and, like, disappear. Just as, like, a general thing. But also, like, in the current book that I'm rereading, there is a human, in quotes. They're kind of a... Oh, what's the... They've been mutated by a fungus. I'm gonna turn down my things a little bit more. That might be better. Better. Yeah, okay. Oh, wow. I wonder how long it took for chat to kind of... Let me fix you guys real quick. I'm going to extend you guys down a little bit more. Okay. Now we are going to move over to some dumb little metallic shizbiz. What about you guys? What is, like, the loyalist one that you would want to be a favorite human of? Alpha Legion? I mean, I guess I'd allow that. They are loyalists sometimes. I don't think Grey Knights really treat... Listen, I'm pretty sure, like, if you're a human and you know about the Grey Knights, you just die. Yeah. I think Black Templars are like 50-50. Although in general, it probably is better to just be dead in 40k than it is just to live in 40k. With that being said, I don't want my soul to go to the warp. So, there's actually two questions that I will ask. Octopus asked earlier. Here it is. You are now the favorite little mortal of a Marine from one of the Chaos Legions. Which Legion do you choose? And we went on about Chaos, and then I moved it over to Loyalists. Loyalists. Ooh. See, I wasn't thinking, like renegades or sister chapters or stuff like that. Because I said salamanders if I was to do loyalists. But raptors, I haven't learned much about the raptors, but that seems like an interesting one. No, you're not allowed to, Ando. This is a Marine-only chat right now. You hold your pincers, mandibles. You hold your mandibles together. I will check it out in a moment when I have a sec. Going over. What'd I miss? Okay. Now I will take this as my little dry brush. And let's try to brush most of this off. And now we're going to go with this barrel. And I don't want to go too crazy with the stuff right here. I'm maybe I should. I don't know. Should I keep going with the gunmetal down more? The idea I had is that, like, the firing of the last has kind of burnt the end of this away to, like, expose the bare metal. So all, like, the black paint and the stuff they do is, like, gone. Anyone is bound to trim them with either... might include... Yeah, this is a Gladiator Lancer I'm working on. So I am, like, trying... I think I could do, like, a little bit. I've been trying to get better about doing, like, metal burns or heating up metal and it burning and all that. Well, now I need to reach out to some friends. Real quick. Get like a Steam message at some point because of that, but I'm okay with that. We're just move it here, pull that up, and pull that up. Get some true bronze and make it a bit into a wash. Get 70% of the front part, and then do the same with silver, but mix it with a violet ink, and the final 30% of the barrel. I will have to try that in the future. For myself, was just going to go with this greedy gold and dry brush that on as much, and then kind of take the purple and dry brush that, and then do, I guess, like a little bit of black on the very end, or a blue. All good. I don't mind repeating myself. Currently, I'm excited. I think it's a good change, at least for the Marines and all that. I'm definitely sad, like, a lot of stuff are being removed from the game. I'm not too sad about, like, the Tactical Devastator, all the really old Marines. The suppressors I am sad about. I'm like, why are you getting rid of the suppressors? Those are a Primaris model. Those are relatively new. Like, why were those never made into a multi-part kit? Like, I want suppressors. I never got suppressors because they're in a box, and to buy them separately, it is expensive. So I was like, why? And then all the tanks and stuff. It just did not make any sense. Ooh, that does look like a good bird. Ooh. Okay. I see that. If I had those colors, I would do that. But I think the toughness upgrade for the Marines and everything, I am very much okay with that. I remember playing in, like, honestly, with, like, beginning of 11th and 10th and all that, the Marines I thought needed to be upgraded. That just does not look... Yeah, I think that works. Might have wiped off, like, the gold and silver from a lot of it, but I think that works for a very quick burn. You know, I do need to edge highlights and stuff like that too at some point. Do I want to edge highlight this thing? I don't think so. I think I am going to do, like, some metallic dry brushing at some point on it. I need to... Actually, no, I have it right here. That out. Put that to the side. I am going to need this. And still got to drill all the gun barrels at some point for this. I've been lazy on doing that. Yeah, pretty much just taking, like, a silver color and just, like, edge wearing it. I did on one model. I'll grab it in a moment. I never edge highlighted it. I did... I dry brushed, like, a bunch of silver on it and gave it wear. Okay. Let me grab it. So this Impulsor is the only tank I have fully painted. And this is one that, like, I got everything painted up to where I want it. And then I just dry brushed it a bunch. Could have been probably a little bit nicer with the dry brushing. But I also think it kind of went okay. It's not perfect, but it's definitely battle worn. Still gotta do the flames on the back of it, actually. Yeah, that impulsor has been destroyed so many times on the table that I figured it would work for what I was trying to do. I still gotta do the chapter symbols and kind of like numbers on it at some point, though, too. Let's do this. I did see he posted it. I haven't watched it yet. I never played the first, like, bolt gun, so... Don't really... I don't know if I'll play it either. I'm only really playing games I have an interest in. Well, now I'm not going to because you're telling me to. And that is... We're done? Yeah, it is done. Do that. That sounds like a really fun thing to do. I should do that with my models. I might steal that idea and do that. Okay. This. I gotta let that dry and then put on another layer. Let's focus on one side at a time. I could not imagine trying to do non-metallic metal on this whole thing. That seems like so much work. I expect dark. I expect dark to be. Hi, Rory. Oh. This is... I know we only got a little bit more time. I might just finish this front and then wrap it up here. Maybe we continue this next time. Maybe I do something else. I'm not sure. I will say vehicles are not my most favorite thing to paint. And they really should... Honestly, these should be like centerpiece models that I do. But... it's just doing like one bit at a time each way. What am I doing? I'm doing something that's really dumb. I'm gonna have to fix that. You could do a stream of miniature or homebrew submissions or like a painting setup. I could have a segment like that for a bit. I know there's a few people that kind of... well, there's a few other channels and stuff that do that. I don't know if I really have any place to speak on other people's setups or their miniatures too much. Although I might get some ideas. I might get ideas from my own stuff. So that might not be a terrible... not a terrible idea. Rory, stop licking your paw. It's probably better than mine. Mine is a complete mess right now. Oh, actually, because my roommate's not here. I am stressing a little bit about my current living situation. So, my sister has a really good opportunity to move into a place. I do have the option to move with her. She's been my roommate now for like the past, not 10 years, but a good chunk of it. But she's got the opportunity to like be at a house all by herself with her animals and stuff like that. I think it'd be good for both of us to have our own space. I'm at the age though that all of my friends are already roommating with other people, or they have significant others that they're roommating with. And none of my friends really live nearby me anymore. I really like the apartment I'm in, and I don't want to move out of it. So I'm like, I gotta figure out something for myself. So that's been something I gotta do. I mean, I did back away from my mic a little bit. And I didn't really speak very loudly. But I'll get my own issues figured out and everything. I will keep people informed to the best of my ability with things going on. I'm not going to be like super... I'm not going to go super in depth with what I have going on, but... I don't think it's fair if I ever just went silent on you guys. I'll figure something out. I always do. But I am going to call it here. It is almost 10. Actually, like, almost at that 3-hour mark. And I'm starting to get tired. Now I should get some sleep. So, I'm going to do my little spiel. Oh, you have asked that before. I don't know. I think it was kind of like a different question, like on which models I would save and all that, because that's kind of a hard question. But I'm gonna do my little spiel and then I'm gonna go, and then next time I will try to answer. So, first things first. If you enjoyed the content and you want to see more, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. I try to stream 3 days a week, starting from 7 p.m. EST to about 10 o'clock p.m. EST, with some variations. I have been posting a schedule a lot more frequently on my stream and all that, on like when. So yeah, next stream will be at 10 p.m. EST, and I'm probably gonna go until like midnight my time, or however late the collab kind of goes for. That's kind of the plan and idea. If you want to chat with us more, share your models, or share what other hobbies you have and stuff like that, because it's not just Warhammer here I want to do on the channel. I want to eventually do like blacksmithing, carpentry, all that kind of stuff once I have a better and bigger setup. Like I'm trying to do some cosplay stuff. Haven't had the time for that yet, but I will get into it. Anyway, with that, I have a Discord. It is in the video and channel description, completely free. It is in the Twitch bio, and it is in the video description on YouTube, and also in the channel. For those also on Twitch that want to watch this back, everything gets uploaded to YouTube, so you can watch everything back there. Also, if you want to donate to the channel and help support it, I do have a Ko-Fi/Coffee account. Again, that's in the video and channel description. Everything you donate goes directly back into the channel, whether that is getting supplies for painting, or models, or getting upgrades, or hiring an editor for videos and stuff like that. But with that all being said, you don't have to do any of that. Just having you here, hanging out, being a part of the community is more than enough. I get on here to try and complete my models and be a silly goober every once in a while. And talk with some amazing people on here. So, with that being said, I want you to go out there and make something awesome. I know you will.